just have you know, I recorded all of that, almost all of it, and there was a Kleenex box right there that was not super visible, but probably visible enough that someone's gonna be like, hey Amanda, there's a Kleenex box behind you. You wanna refilm this? Okay. Welcome to the special edition episode of Liquid Pop. So right after last week's Liquid Pop, Disney made the full announcements for the future of the MCU and Star Wars. And since I go by Amanda the Jedi, it only makes sense that I'd do a special bonus episode for the Marvel announcements. Now most of these were things we already knew about, just with some adjusted release dates, but we did finally get the confirmation that the Fantastic Four are on the way. This tracks super well for all the theories about a Galactus storyline, but I'm way more excited to see what they do with Doctor Doom. But we won't be seeing the Fantastic Four for a few more years, so let's get to some of the more immediate announcements. Right after the holiday season, we are getting WandaVision on January 15th, which is going to be the next show we tackle here on Liquid Pop. The show is set to go deeper into the origins of Wanda's powers, which is an area that they had to adjust for the MCU because they didn't have the rights to the X-Men yet. And I'm super interested to see where they go with Wanda's powers because some of the stuff she does in the comics, it's a nightmare in its own right. From there, we get the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on March 19th, which features the two teaming up internationally to fight a terrorist group. This is followed by Loki dropping sometime in May, which 100% is going to tie into the multiverse. Because thanks to the trailer, we know that following his escape from the past in Endgame, he gets caught by the TVA. The TVA, or Time Variance Authority, is an organization responsible for monitoring the multiverse and can trim, i.e. destroy, timelines if they're deemed too dangerous. And Loki, splitting off from the past when his present is dead, is definitely a time variance. It also means that characters that are dead or from completely different studios, universes, could pop up in the rest of the MCU. And to round out the shows for the rest of the years, we're getting Marvel What If sometime in the summer, and Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye before the end of the year. The Eternals is dropping on November 5th before Spiderman swings into theaters to end off the year on December 17th. And while a lot of people aren't familiar with Shang-Chi, this is actually the third time he's been discussed for his own movie. The earliest pitch dropping in the 1980s, where Stan Lee actually wanted to see Brandon Lee in the titular role. We don't know too much about the plot, but it is apparently introducing the real Mandarin after Iron Man 3 pulled the bait and switch. And for those unfamiliar with the Eternals, they're essentially an immortal alien race living on Earth created by the Celestials. And the Celestials are essentially the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe and feature characters like Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and the planet-eating Galactus. So if you were missing your Marvel content in 2020, they are definitely making up for it in 2021. Going into 2022, we'll be seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness dropping on March 25th, Thor Love and Thunder on May 6th, Black Panther 2 on July 8th, and Captain Marvel 2 on November 11th. They also confirmed what most of us assumed, that they wouldn't be recasting T'Challa, but instead would be focusing on Wakanda and the rich characters that they already established in the first movie. Otherwise, expect to see She-Hulk and Moon Knight by the end of 2022, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming in early 2023, but before that, we're getting the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Look, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, but maybe we're going too far. Rounding out the announcements with no solid release dates were Armor Wars, Ironheart, Secret Invasion, Antman and the Wasp, Quantummania, Blade, and again, the Fantastic Four. But what seems to be getting the most hype with the least amount of confirmations is all the Spider-Man news. When Far From Home dropped in 2019, it ended with the reveal that J.K. Simmons had reprised the role of J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU. This could have very easily been explained by him being too good of a Triple J to let go, but then the recasts kept coming. Jamie Foxx revealed that he was reprising his role as Electro, to mixed opinions. Recently, there's been reports that Alfred Molina is going to be returning as Doc Ock. And with the Vulture and Scorpion both being in Homecoming, a live-action Sinister Six seemed like the logical direction for the MCU. Because while it looks like Mysterio died at the end of Far From Home, these are superhero movies that are quickly expanding into a multiverse. Anything is possible, for better or for worse. And if you were already feeling overloaded by all the potential villains, hold on to your butts, because there are strong rumors that both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be returning to their Spidey suits. On top of that, there are rumors that Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone may be in talks to return as Mary Jane Watson and Gwen Stacy. Though if this is the same Gwen Stacy from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I have questions. So it looks like we might be getting a live-action Spider-Verse to take on the Sinister Six, and I have mixed feelings. If this this is done well, it could be amazing, but Spider-Man movies don't have the best track record when it comes to incorporating multiple villains. But those were all Sony exclusives. Marvel Studios has yet to let me down when it comes to ensemble cast movies, so if anyone can juggle it, it's them. Some of these could just be drive-by cameos, a little bit of a Spidey team-up at the end, but we'll just have to wait and see. Though I do still think that Tom deserved to finish off his own trilogy before we started throwing in every single character that's ever appeared in a live-action Spider-Man movie. But I get it, they have a universe to expand. And with the official confirmation that Spider-Man 3 is directly tying into the next Doctor Strange, I think Spider-Man 3 into the Sonyverse is pretty likely. The real downside here is that it makes it way too easy to tie in those Sony Spidey adjacent projects that I just don't want anywhere near this. I haven't even seen Morbius yet, and I already know. I don't want it. Maybe I'm being judgmental. And likely adding to all this multiverse madness is the third Antman movie, Quantummania, where they're supposed to be hunting down Kang the Conqueror, who could also tie into the Fantastic Four. There's just red yarn lines everywhere. And in addition to all the multiverse stuff, we're definitely gonna be seeing the cosmic side of Marvel fleshed out as well. Thor is bopping around with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Eternals were literally created by Celestials, Captain Marvel 2 is on the way, Secret Invasion was confirmed, and the Fantastic Four will likely tie into the cosmos in some way. With that Fortnite Galactus event, it just seems like a logical direction for the stories to go. But that was a lot of announcements, yet still no X-Men. But let me know what you guys are looking forward to the most. Are you looking forward to the movies, the shows, a little bit of everything? But that is gonna do it for this week's episode of Liquid Pop. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that notification bell. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. And I'm super interested to see where they go with her powers in the MCU, because some of the stuff she does in the comics, well, it's a nightmare in its own right. She can literally alter reality. She can make the entire world like something completely different just because she thinks it. She can make you think you were a baby. That was not to be put in the episode. That was just for your benefit.